This is the Ranks for Nothing segment. 5 players, Adam Rank, who could fall to the number 10 pick. I want you to start from the least percentage chance to highest percentage chance of these 5 players that could fall to 10. The floor is yours. Ranks for Nothing.
The most likely to fall to 10, the least likely to fall to 10 to me, and I'll be having my piece come out for NFL.com. I just put it out there. Pretend like when it drops next week, just go read it anyways. I'm going to give you a little bit. I'm going to tell you who I had the Bears taken because I'll just let you guys know. Because my mock draft is never a prediction. It's always a recommendation. Where a lot of people like Bucky Brooks and Daniel Jeremiah are like, this is where I think, this is what I predict. I'm like, no, this is what they should do. So for me, of that list, and this is the God's honest truth, for me, the least likely guy to be there at number 10, the least likely guy to be there at number 10 is going to be Ashton Jeanty. I think that there's not a great chance that he's going to be there. Not only are the Raiders a team that could take him, I've said this. I think the Giants could be in the mix too. I know a lot of people find that foolish. I'm not saying I would actually encourage them to do it. I'm like, your team sucks and your fans need something to be excited about. And if you have Malik Neighbors and Ashton Jeanty and whatever you're going to run out there at quarterback, I think that would be a pretty good option for them. And so if it's not them, you also have the Raiders, even the Saints could be a team that could do it, or a team that wants to move up in the draft to go out there and take a running back. So I think he's the least likely. I'd be shocked if he was there. The next one for me is going to be Ty Warren. I really don't think there's a good chance. I really don't see Tyler Warren dropping this far in the draft. One of the reasons being because Brock Bowers was so good. And not only Brock Bowers, but Sam Laporta over the last couple of years has been really good as well. And there's been a heavy emphasis not only on teams getting a tight end, but even teams that have a tight end that you feel okay with trying to fortify him and running some more 12 personnel. And I think a team like the Bears are that type of team where you're like, yeah, I understand that we have Cole Kmet, but we shouldn't shy away from the opportunity to go out there and add somebody like Tyler Warren, which again, I think that he's heavily in play for the Jacksonville Jaguars at 5. I think the Carolina Panthers make a lot of sense for him as well. You know, they have not replaced Greg Olsen over this time. The Saints are also another team that not necessarily a need for them, but a lot of times these teams are now starting to be a little bit more forward thinking where you're just not always drafting for need. So for me, I'd be shocked if either one of those two guys who are the most talked about on Bears Twitter seem to be the least likely players to get down to Chicago. And I guess right in the middle of the road, I would have Mason Graham being the third least likely person to be down there. Now, in my mock draft with a twist, I have massaged the board to make Mason Graham available, which I think would be a slam dunk for the Bears. And I know that Greg and I have talked about being trench drunk and doing all that stuff and trying to fortify on both sides of the trenches, regardless, you know, whoever you rate higher, whoever you think is a better player. And I think that Mason Graham is a better player, a better football player than the other two offensive tackles there. So I would rather have him over those guys. And as a matter of fact, in my mock draft with a twist, I have both of those guys available to the Bears, which would be really interesting because I truly believe, and I go by Daniel Jeremiah's rankings, is I think Loveland is all, like a lot of people think that Loveland might be a better player, the better tight end there. So he is also a player. Again, because I think Carolina is a huge need for a tight end. So, and I saw somebody's mock draft online, and God bless them. Like, yeah, and then I got us taking Will Campbell at 10, Loveland in the second round. You're like, he's not getting to the second round. He probably won't go in the top 10, but I'm like, it wouldn't shock me. I would recommend a team taking him in the top 10, but that's just me. But I think Mason Graham's there. And then we go to the two tackles. I think Will Campbell is a higher rated player than Membou. Will Campbell, the reason that I feel like he could drop is because his arms. And it's the same thing with Mason Graham. Like we are still in this world where we watch guys play football And you're like, you're very good at that. However, we're over here at the underwear Olympics, and your arm's not long enough, so apparently you suck. And it's not going to translate, and it's not going to work. And I know there's something about stepping up to the NFL level where you're like, well, you know, he really didn't have this or whatever. But a lot of times I feel the effort is usually what takes plays, other than like my arm's a quarter inch too short or anything like that. And then Membou would be the guy that I think is the most likely to be available for the Bears. And I was on the Tape Never Lies network, and I was scared away from him. Draft Dr. Phil hates him. Like it literally just does not like him as a football player. Does not think he's good at all. And I think that and now again, I'll let the scouting go in. His thing is like, if they take Membou, then it shows that they don't watch the tape and they're only going off the rack score or the scars or whatever the thing is. Pace score, whatever. I'm thinking of it.
RAS score. Yes.
Rad. There it is. And as Eric's saying here too, is Nate Tice does have Loveland ranked higher than Tyler Warren. I really do. I honestly, I know it'd be weird to see 2 tight ends go in the first round or the top 10. But again, the same thing. If Jacksonville did take Tyler Warren, I think Carolina, I understand that they need help defensively, but you invested so much in Bryce Young. You got to go that extra mile. And if Loveland is there at number whatever it is, take him. Because again, it helps the Bears when you start taking guys like this. So it helps out. I wish we could, and Tyler Warren's fine. I'm good with just about any one of those guys falling to us.